Hey folks, welcome back. One of the most overlooked tools in Texas state tax resolution is penalty abatement. If you owe back taxes to the comptroller, the penalties alone can add a significant amount to your balance. Today, let's talk about how to get some of those penalties reduced or eliminated. First, let's understand how penalties work. When you fail to file a return on time, fail to pay on time, or underreport your tax, the comptroller adds penalties to the base tax amount. These can range from 5 to 10% or more, depending on the type of penalty and how late you are. On a large liability, we're talking about thousands of dollars in penalties on top of the tax and interest you already owe. So can you get those penalties waived? Well, in many cases, yes. The comptroller has the discretion to abate penalties when a taxpayer can demonstrate reasonable cause. So what qualifies as reasonable cause? The comptroller looks at whether you had a legitimate reason for the failure and whether you acted responsibly despite that reason. Examples might include reliance on incorrect advice from a tax professional, a serious illness or death in the family, a natural disaster, destruction of records, or a significant business disruption that was beyond your control. What doesn't work? I didn't know I had to file is generally not going to get your penalties waived. Neither is I couldn't afford to pay. Financial hardship alone isn't typically considered reasonable cause for penalty abatement, though it may be relevant for other resolution strategies like payment plans or offers and settlement. So how do you make the request? You submit a written request to the comptroller explaining the circumstances, providing supporting documentation, and specifically asking for penalty abatement. The more detailed and well-documented your request, the better your chances. A one-paragraph letter asking them to please waive your penalties isn't going to cut it. And here's something a lot of people don't realize. Even if your reasonable cause argument isn't airtight, it's still often worth making the request. The comptroller has broad discretion, and a well-presented case with documentation can sometimes produce a favorable result, even when the facts aren't perfect. If you want to explore whether penalty abatement makes sense for your situation, work with a tax professional who understands your specific facts. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.